So Mikayla said,
this is the best makeup on the market.
we are both makeup artists, but there's exactly a 30-year age difference. So I'm going to go through her video and I'm going to use the exact product she's talking about on this side of my face. When I agree with them, I will also use them on this side of my face. If I don't agree with them, I'm going to use my alternative recommendation product on this side of my face. And we'll see what we look like at the end. She uses Snatch It as an eye cream and I totally agree. You know, I agree when I've got a blinged out cap. This is going to depuff and hydrate. Beautiful concealer base. Her two favorite eye products are the ABH Micro Stroke Brow Pen and the Rare Beauty Gel in Clear and Tint. Agree with both of these recommendations. One of the best tinted brow gels and gives you the most natural fluffy brow. She went in with eye patches. I'm using Summer Friday's Jet Lag. Also love these. This is really going to lock in that Snatch It cream. Then she goes in with Skin Prep, and of course she's recommending POV, which I also completely agree with. This is Drip It that I've poured out into this spray bottle. One of the best hydrating toners under makeup. And I'm saying that to you as somebody with oily combo skin. Then she went in with Drip It. So good, I'm out and I need a new one. Mikayla, if you see this video, can you send me a new one? In addition to POV, she mentions the Tatcha Dewy Milk Moisturizer. Gives your skin extra glow and hydration. I especially love this one under makeup. Okay, now we're getting into foundation. She recommends the Natasha Denona and even mixes it with a really high coverage skin tint from Maybelline. We're not doing that. I like the Natasha Denona foundation, but I find that it can wear a little bit heavy, so you need to really be careful with the amount. I'm going to mix it in with a little bit of a luminous primer from Ahora Mexico and dot. I'm going to be using Mary Phillips brush. It shears out the coverage further. Although the Natasha Denona is beautiful, I don't like it as much as the Clarins Double Serum. I'm going to do double serum on this side, blending it out with the same foundation brush. This is such a beautiful formula on mature skin. It sits beautifully over texture, even over deeper lines. She also goes over her foundation with a beauty blender that I can't identify. I think it might be something new from PO. My preferred beauty blender is a standout, and until Mikayla can beat this, she's Queen Supreme. She goes in with the LYS bronze. I don't really reach for it in the summer because I find that it moves around a little bit more than I love. Very easy to use, and I think a lot of people will enjoy this bronze. But I like the Westman Atelier better. Super mature, skin friendly. I'm gonna switch brushes to blend out the other side. LYS. Westman Atelier. I should have used the Makeup by Mario F4 to blend this out because she says this is one of her favorite brushes. It's a good brush. It's not my favorite. She then goes in with color corrector and she's talking about the new one size color correcting stains. And I completely agree that this is one of the best color correctors I've ever used. However, if you have mature skin, mature under eyes specifically, I don't recommend you draw on the face with this product. It's a lot of pigment. I like to go in with a brush to get a little bit more of a controlled situation. I use shade Sunset, and look at the difference between color correction. That's going on both sides. Don't draw this directly on your skin. You're gonna have a really hard time blending it out. And when this sees a wrinkle, it gets really excited. It loves to be up in there. Okay, the concealer selection is a little weird, I have to admit. She's picking the Charlotte Tilbury, the Natasha Denona, and the Kosas concealer. I love the Kosas color corrector. I despise the Kosas concealer with every fiber of my being. But I totally agree with these two. In place of the Kosas concealer, if you've got mature under eyes, I'm gonna recommend Fenty We're Even. This is a serum concealer, full coverage, blends beautifully. And then Mikayla made a really scary statement. She says,
We're gonna use all three.
raise your hand if you thought we were doing that. We're not doing that over 50, girl. For the video, I might add just a little drop of Fenty We're Even so we can say we use two. For the love of everything holy, if you've got mature under eyes, start your concealer low, then blend it upward. This is going to keep minimal product underneath those mature, problematic under eyes. I always recommend to mature women when selecting a concealer that they go with the highest possible coverage and the lightest possible formula. She takes the Mario brush and just blends that concealer into the bronzer. I totally agree with that technique. It's going to get rid of any harsh lines between the concealer and the bronzer. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I found the blush part of the video to be very strange. Of all the blushes in all the land, she chose Rhode. It's okay. I had that blush in one shade. I think it was like Toasted Teddy or something, and I gave it to my daughter. I think the Kosas blushes are actually a better formula. They've got more lasting power than the Rhode. And because I can't find my Rhode, using the Kosas in shade Intuition. These blend out so beautiful. But if I had to make one recommendation only for a cream blush, it would be Dior. Using shade Guava because it's similar. This formula, in my opinion, is unmatched. Marries into the skin. I get a lot of wear out of it. I love that the shades have the softest bit of radiance. Number one pick for mature skin. For the powder, she pulled out the Givenchy, which is no longer available. I loved that powder as well, but the truth is that I never loved it as much as the YSL All Hours Hyper Blur, specifically in shade Lilac for underneath the eye, with a BK Beauty 110. This gives you the most flawless under eye blurring. It's set but not being too much. She did set her whole face, which is somebody with oily combo skin with entirely too much skin prep on right now, I appreciate it. Powder bronzer, she pulled out the Polite Society. I love this bronzer. I know a lot of people like this bronzer. I've never gotten down with it entirely. I don't know what it is about it, but it's good. But she ain't Gucci good. This is my favorite powder bronzer. She pulls out 3 pressed powders. She's talking about the Charlotte Tilbury Press, the MCO, which is a dupe of that powder, and the MAC Studio Fix. The Charlotte Tilbury Press powder is going to be discontinued. That's a surprise to no one because that contains talc. The MCO Beauty, she says, is better than the Charlotte Tilbury. I completely agree. The MAC Studio Fix has always been one of my favorite powder foundations. She talks about how she likes the OG powder better, which tracks because she's in her 20s. I actually like the reformulated version better because of how it sits over texture. It's softer than the OG formula. Her favorite powder blush of all time are the YSL Make Me Blush. Girl, I could not agree more. This is my absolute favorite powder blush. It's ethereal. She uses a couple of different sprays to melt down the powder. She uses the one size powder melt, which I love. And she also uses the Anua PDR. Because I have oily combo skin, I am just doing the PDR. Love this spray so much. But I love this one a tiny bit better. This is from Astura. It's a new Korean brand at Sephora. It's called the Cream Mist. What? She goes in with a third spray, which she says sounds crazy. I don't think it sounds crazy because this is actually a setting spray. The one size Until Dawn, could not agree more. This is top dog. Before all that setting spray, she had gone in with a powder highlighter. We're not doing powder highlighter and we're over 50. That looks insane on mature skin. She also mentioned the Charlotte Tilbury highlighter. This is so beautiful. Very mature skin friendly. I don't love all Charlotte Tilbury products, but when she gets it right, she gets it all the way right. She was apparently doing a light makeup day. I'm so grateful that she did a minimal eye because can you imagine if we were into a teal eye look right now? No puedo. She said the Patrick Ta shimmers were her favorite. Completely agree. These do something to the lids that are really like unmatched. This is so beautiful over creasy, crinkly, movable lid. She said that the best lash curler on the market is the Shiseido. I agree, it's a very good lash curler. I don't know if you can ever say the best lash curler because lash curlers are very dependent on your particular eye shape. I do enjoy Shiseido. Then went in and tightlined her waterline with the Urban Decay Waterline Liner. That's a different liner than their regular liners, even though it looks the same. I would have to agree that is one of the best. But in my opinion, it is not as good as the Bake Up Beauty. If you don't want to spend this kind of money, NYX has one called an Ink Stick. Only thing you're really concerned with at this stage is that it doesn't transfer onto the bottom lash. So you need something that's waterproof and transfer proof. Look at the difference at just highlighting. Cuban Girl approved because it doesn't matter how much you gesture and be crazy with your movements. She ain't going on the bottom waterline. You know one thing about Mikayla, it's that she rides hard for this ABH liquid liner. It is a really good liner. However, if you have textured lids or a lot of movement on the lid, this is going to be a little bit hard to navigate. You have to really know what you're doing with the wing. It's just a little bit hard to maneuver, but it is very matte and very pigmented. And if you have super tight young eyelids like Mikayla does, this will be your favorite liquid liner. My favorite liquid liner has been the Tom Ford. This is dual-ended. You have a brush tip on one end and the felt tip on the other. I don't know what it is about this liner, but you will have it for 1,000 years. It doesn't run out. I find this one really easy to control. Am I walking around with a brown liner and a black liner? Yes, anything for y'all. Then she pulls out a big gigantic lily lash that looks so good on her. I don't really do false lashes. I just really like to go there with mascara. If you like a big fake lash, lily lash look, let me introduce you to the best mascara in the entire world, Tarantula Lash. You could tell it's the best because she's blinked out. Stop it. That's one coat. We put a new mascara underneath her bottom lashes. I think it's something POV's coming out with. I'm super excited about the POV mascara launch and the KJH brand mascara launch. But until then, Tarantula Lash, top and bottom. Then she goes in with a lip combo. Mikayla is a much lighter skin tone than I am. I'm going in with POV Beauty Contour in shade Charred Cider. One of my favorite liners. This shit will last all day. Love Charred Cider. She went in with Flesh Pot. Absolutely not. I look like you pulled me out of the morgue. I'm gonna use shade 110 on Sicily. My perfect Flesh Pot. She went over it with the Ampit, and I have mine in shade Cannoli. So good. Also really enjoy this formula. Y'all are just putting too much shit on. That's a good lip combo though. Here's the final makeup look using all of Mikayla's products and then using mostly Mikayla's products, a few edits and alternative products. Let me know in the comments. I want to hear from you. Is there a product that you literally cannot live without that didn't show up on either side of my face? Do you agree with the edits and modifications? I want to talk about it in the comments.